So as he said, my name's Mishel Ghenry. My BA is in elementary education. I've been a teacher since 1996, and I'm going to talk about teaching people of all ages, and the younger the better. If you're thinking she was just a baby in 1996, good thinking. Okay. My youngest students have been 6 months old, and of course we teach adults at the university. So active learning is, of course, the best way to learn. You want to immerse yourself in the language. We say that the students should be speaking, practicing, and producing language 80% of the class time. The teacher should only speak for 20% because you already know English, okay, or Russian or French, whichever language. And of course, this will allow them to create more pathways in their brain. They will be able to use more authentic language. They'll be more invested in what they're doing. Okay, the earlier you start, the better. You actually start learning Russian before you're born, and you speak very well. So of course, your second language should also start as early as possible. Scientists say that by age 3, you start to lose the ability to hear sounds correctly, and we also filter out what is noise and what is meaningful sound. Okay? By age 8, it kind of is pretty much finished. Okay? Songs are, of course, the best way to learn. Music is very powerful. Even a song you hear 30 years later, you remember the words to. So it's a great way to learn and to build fluency and the correct intonation of language and, of course, pronunciation. I've made the slides so you can find things later. And, of course, for older learners, using songs also is more interesting to them. Okay? You want to learn to use authentic text. For adults, of course, news articles and such are very good. For children, you want to use books. Our most famous children's author is Dr. Seuss, and he revolutionized children's literature. He said that reading should be fun, and that children should be able to use their phonetic rules and grammar rules to even figure out strange words. Mo Willems, my favorite author. Little Reader is an amazing program. It's designed for 6-month-old children. It doesn't use translation, it uses an immersion process. I use it to learn Russian, so don't be intimidated, that's for infants. But a very good way to teach your children to read. They also do math and music, and of course it's available in several languages. Of course, using emergent readers, since you're teaching them to read at 6 months old, they're of course ready to read by a year. My first young student here was 18 months, and she could already read in English and Russian. And of course, there's many places online where you can create interesting books that you can print out to use with your students. Then of course, you want them to produce language of their own, so retelling the stories using puppets. It's a fun way. You can use just simple puppets. They love it, even if they're just little papers on sticks. And of course, for your adults, you want to use role plays, so they get the ability to actually use the language on their own and be able to think of new situations and new ways to say things. Okay? For children, of course, unstructured play is very useful. With my first students, they're 6 months old, I say basically talk to myself for 1 hour. But speak about everything. This is the way you learned Russian. Your parents speak to you, you listen for 2 years, and then you're able to produce quite well. So just playing, children are able to make meaning of their world. Okay? Of course, engaging the senses. Our senses are the most powerful ways to learn. Taste, of course. Children love to stick things in their mouth, so engaging this opportunity to talk about taste and different flavors. Of course, smells. This is like taking different spices to do paint pictures, and of course, investigating sound. Okay? Tactile experiences, even my 7 or 8-year-olds love. This is just a bucket of peas where I've hidden little fall fruits and vegetables, and they just love digging through it, sifting through it. You get lots of good action words. As well as things, we also have water beads with fish that they have to feed the penguin. Notice they're not so gentle with the penguin. Okay, and then of course this mystery bag where they can pull different things out. Okay, don't forget to do their fine motor skills. Okay, for some reason tinfoil fascinates really people of all ages, and you can wrap things inside and just unwrapping it and then talking about what's inside, predicting, doing other fine motor skills, talking about textures. It helps them build their bodies and their brains. Okay? Arts and crafts, a great way for those of my adult friends. We do lots of crafts. You get to learn all kinds of basic words, okay, like cut and paste and glue. We don't use scotch. This is only alcohol. Okay, tape. We use tape for crafts. But just making all sorts of little things, painting, and of course they love it. Or even small children, they can just do dots with stamps, and it's great fun. You can also do patterns. Okay, active games and scavenger hunts. Okay, first, when my 6-month-old student, I think I played peekaboo for an entire hour. They love it. Okay, and then hide and seek for another hour. But scavenger hunts, you can write on the back of different pieces of paper and hide them, and of course you can gear it to the level of their language. So the first one, just go to different rooms, and then of course use different words like seek and search and look. Okay, there's many websites on file folder games. So this is something that you can create, and again, it's very active. Instead of just talking about the vocabulary, they can touch it and move it in the colors. This clipping, things with little paper clips, very useful as well. And of course, commercial games. You get to learn the vocabulary of games, and also you get to teach social skills. But games automatically engage them, and of course, they love the competition. So you can use basically any game you can find, but some, of course, very useful and geared towards languages. Okay, and for adult students, they also love to play these. Okay, and of course, don't forget to actually go out and do things. I think I was shocked my 18-month-old child here knew like every make of car, which I still have no idea, but because her mom uses every opportunity to speak English with her. So at the playground, of course, you learn words that you'll never learn in school. I've learned even my advanced students don't know what all these toys are called. Okay, and of course, the different games. More for older learners, but also for some younger ones, as low as maybe 3, just talk about what they see in different pictures, find the differences between pictures, especially if they have to communicate with another partner. Fill in missing information. We give these one person A, one person B. They can't look at them, and they, of course, have to ask questions and be able to answer different things. I have Who Has is a very common review game that I use in my classes, and a lot of American teachers use it for every subject. It's very simple. You have just individual cards for each student. They have to listen to each other. So on the top, it has an answer, and then it has a question, and then the next person has to listen to find out if they have the next card. Okay, and of course, if you're looking for more ideas online, these are some useful phrases that will help you search. As someone said, searching in English opens a whole new world when you're looking for English activities. So the later ones, active learning, project-based learning, and 21st century learning are keywords in American education as it is. And then, of course, the others useful for homeschooling and teaching children. Okay, thank you very much for listening.